I've had an interesting week or two or three. We're going to take a little ride today and talk about what's going on. And I told him I didn't have this 14mm Allen wrench, and so he made this rigged up a 9/16 bolt. I want to talk a little bit about the 2025 CF Moto Ibex 450. Did you see the video with you on it? Dude, you're awesome, man. Notice this pain in my ankle, or like behind the ankle, right above the heel, right in the joint, both sides there. And I didn't think much of it. I don't like going to doctors. I've seen it too many times with my clients. So here's the big thing. I was looking at my bank account. Cell service here? Hang on. Now in this year after selling the house, I've got two inventions that if they get into the right hands, they're both patent pending. Wow. Oh my God, I'm having this weird effect with my eyes right now. That's Coast Guard. I can see the orange. Okay, doing a mic test. So hi everybody, how you doing? I've had an interesting week or two or three. We're going to take a little ride today and talk about what's going on, full disclosure with me and my journey. I had a flat tire slow leak about 2 months ago, and I rode around for oh gosh, better part of, I wonder if I need a jacket. Yeah, let's ride a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna say 600 miles with no air in the front tire, and there's no tube. And I'm completely surprised the bead didn't come off, but most of it was highway. I didn't notice until I hit this little lump in a gas station, and I could feel it hitting the rim. I got that fixed in Port Angeles, and they said it was the valve stem. About 5 days ago, I pull into the same gas station where the same bump is, and as I'm turning and I hit this lump, I can feel the rim connect, and then I came down and I feel the front wheel get all mushy, like super mushy. So I was like, oh God. So it literally peeled it off the rim. The bead broke. Had to wait for a tow truck because I didn't bring my patch kit, which I have with me now. And it's funny, I got a tow truck, and camp is only about 3 miles away. Thank God for AAA. But I found out as the tow truck's there was a motorcycle shop literally right behind me. Well, that's okay. I need to work on my own tire and figure this out. So I brought it back home. I waited 3 or 4 days. Another reason for that I'll explain later about my ankle. Yesterday I was missing a 14mm Allen socket, and so I ran into town, a couple of parts stores, very small town, no one had it. So I stopped by this motorcycle shop, and he said, yeah, if you bring the tire in, I'll put a tube in it real quick. And I told him I didn't have this 14mm Allen wrench, and so he made this rigged up a 9/16 bolt that did the same thing. So I rushed home, took just a few minutes to get it off, very easy to get it off with the right tools. Brought to him, and after having a second leak, I decided to, and he agreed to put a tube in it. So anyways, that's the first part, and we'll get into the rest of this as I drive, and I've got to get out here and play because the rains are coming. Got you in my videos. So why should we come to your Chevron station?
Well, actually, we have everything, for food, small. We have a lower price of small food. Yeah.
Did you see the video with you on it? Dude, you're awesome, man. It was cool. And they're on the corner of in Squim on 101, Highway 101 and Hooker. Like Hooker Road, is that what it is? Yeah. I come in here all the time. I can go to across the street because I like these guys. They're really cool.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and Yeah. And he's watching my videos and he doesn't comment.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
But I'm leaving a bad comment.
Dude, I've blocked some of my videos. Like, I put them on private recently. I'm like, that's too much information. But I'm going up in the mountains today. This is your cousin, or?
My uncle.
Oh, your uncle. And what's your names again? I forgot. Jeevan. Manning. They're good people. They run a good business. Everything's very clean. And it's convenient. Alright, I'm going to go a little slow. There's definitely humming on the tires on these Motaz Adventure tires at 55 and higher. I'm only doing 48. But this helmet also has a lot of wind noise, so anyhow, so let's continue bringing you up to speed. I've had a heavy 3 weeks, energy-wise, exhaustion, just some dark stuff, you know, and I tell people it's not necessarily all you. It's we're a living entity that picks up frequency and vibrations. We're all networked in, and so a lot of times we're picking up the energy around us. So about almost a month ago, ride pretty hard on the bike, and I just felt really squirrely. So I ran with it, and everything's fine. But when I get home, I notice this pain in my ankle, or like behind the ankle, right above the heel, right in the joint, both sides there. And I didn't think much of it. Second day was a little bit more painful. Third day, I couldn't even walk on it. I couldn't crawl up in the bed, in the upper part of the bed, and that's how bad it hurt. And I was thinking it was gout. I've had the same feeling with my toe about 4 times in my life. And I'm doing all the math, but it's like, well, you're drinking beer again. Folks, I don't drink that much. You know, I might drink a 6-pack 2, maybe 3 nights a week, and that's it. And I know people that do it all day, every day, for years and years and years, and they don't have gout. Now, I understand everybody's different. And you have to think about the things you're eating. So I've researched this before. It's excruciating. It's very painful. And again, I'm glad I was on a private lot, not in an RV park, because my neighbors would have heard some screaming. It's that painful. So it took about 2 weeks for it to really kind of chill out, you know, like it wasn't hurting anymore. It took like 3 days where it wasn't hurting, but it was still kind of swollen and still sensitive. And so I went about my life and just, you know, like, all right, it's going to go away. Well, about 4 days ago, it came back again, and now it feels like it's on the outside of the left part, on my left foot, on the left part of my ankle, like right above it, and it hurts again. I'm talking swollen. I've yet, you know, I never put ice on it. I just kind of ride things out. I'm kind of weird that way. And again, I never go to doctors unless I absolutely have to. You know, broken bones I've had, lacerations, I know they can fix those things. And I have my own personal reasons why I don't, until the, you know, I have to. 2-3 days of pain again. It's been 5 days. Yesterday I actually fixed the flat, but just in pain and just sitting around and not able to sleep. And I noticed something I do in my sleep, and it's really weird. And I'm questioning this now, like maybe it isn't gout. Because the last time my toe issues happened, I was sleeping on a futon, and I'm too long for a futon, and I have this weird thing I found out the other night where I'll literally slap my feet together. Like I caught it the other night. Like I'll throw a blanket, I'll open my legs asleep, throw the blanket between my legs and slap my legs together and slap my ankles together. And so there's some rough foot movement I do when I'm asleep, and I caught that. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I did more research, and it could be a lot of things. It could be calcium buildup, but I'm doing all the research and checking out my patterns, all the sequence of events. Like sometimes I go through a lot of milk. Sometimes for months I won't drink any milk. But once in a while I like cookies and milk. And so I just had that. So any normal person would say, go to the doctor, they'll find out. I don't like going to doctors. I've seen it too many times with my clients. The 27 years I've done business with people 55 and older. and learn from them that when you go, it's a chain reaction from there. They'll find this and then that and then this and then that. It's all about money and medication. So that's been going on. So I decided today it's feeling a lot better. It's still kind of swollen. I might mess it up again. I don't know. Enough about that. Here's the thing I'm not talking about that much, and I need to talk about this if you've been following my channel and my life. I'm going to turn ABS off. There we go. Alright, what am I doing here? Turn the blinker up. So I'm going to be mellow so I can talk, and there's a lot of potholes. And see, I still have some pain in the ankle. A little bit. It's definitely better today. So here's the big thing. I was looking at my bank account 11 and a half months ago. I'm just saying it. I had $600 and some odd thousand in my account. Over the last 7 years, I've had just over 1.23 million, somewhere in that area. And if you've watched my videos, you understand why I've elected to just enjoy the money, knowing that there's a possibility I might have to work again. Well, it's been 7 years, and I have no problem with working again, really. In fact, having as much freedom as I have and the spontaneity, everything gets old. I'll tell you that much. Everything gets old. It's nice to go slow down here for once. It's these monster potholes. Incredible in here, isn't it beautiful? I already feel the peace. Especially going slow. I'm usually having to focus so much. So I went from that much money, and of course I distributed hundreds of thousands of that to the source that provided the money over the last year as part of, the story. And if you don't, watch my videos. So technically I've burned through 1.3 million dollars and elected to just go for it. At 52 is when I got it. Yeah, I had to do the math on my fingers real quick. Hey, if you don't use it, you lose it. I've bought everything you can think of, gotten bored with everything you can think of, including the Mercedes G-Wagon, the 42 different vehicles. Well, 41 because I have one now. Oh, nice! I gotta hit him because there's a. All right. I love that low tone in this bike, and stock exhaust too. Oh, dang it! These shadows, you can't see these things. If you follow my all the episodes, if you're interested, I find them entertaining, and that's rare for me to say, being a content creator for 17 years. I like all these videos in this channel more than any other channel I've ever had. And there's some serious points where I'm talking and getting deep, and then today I'm like, well, why don't you ride and talk? These trees are amazing when they fall. Okay, so there's a river down here. My ankle. Oh, geez, almost tipped the bike because of that. I'm in a dangerous corner, too. So, when a serious rain comes, this water just roars down. This is the Dungeness River. And you can hear these trees falling miles away, echoing through here. Like the cabin I had, it was probably about 6 miles from where I'm at right now. You can hear them just thunder down. It's an amazing sound, powerful sound. So, bought a lot of things, changed my mind. Horrible at making a final decision, and that was the whole purpose of this experience I'm going through. Front wheel feels funny. I'm gonna check. See, I'm all gun shy about the tire now. Should be fine. I got a tube in it now. Alright. And they're super aggressive tires. I've been experimenting with something since I was 14 years old. It's just how I'm built. There's a teddy bear there. That's so weird. Why did they do that? Anybody know why? I've found more teddy bears up roads like this in Sedona, Arizona. Just a bunch of places people leave teddy bears. Is there some significance? Let me know in the comments. I'll look it up as well. I've burned through with Airbnbs, cabins, 2 different motorcycles, motorcycles. One I only kept for 4 months. Thousands of dollars in gear, camera stuff, expensive Airbnbs, very expensive. Some elaborate resorts I've stayed at, you know, the $1,200-$1,500 a night thing, down to staying in shacks in Death Valley and just getting this diverse experience in my life and creating content based on it and being fearless about it. Well, there's some fear. I'm human. It's stupid. It's not logical. It's a gamble. But I'm not married. I don't have any kids. And so I seem to be the elected one to go for it. That's how I feel about it. The search my entire life for no other word that you can use called enlightenment. I know, that sounds really weird, but I have tasted it. And the last time I tasted it was up here. Nothing else entertains me. Being in a relationship sounds like a nightmare to me. Being a player like I was 20-some plus years ago sounds disgusting to me. Working at JOB, so long ago since I worked at JOB, that knowing I might have to again, I'm aware of. Look how dark it is in there, isn't that cool? Let's see if I can do this without my ankle. You see that down there? So beautiful. I used to find cars down there, people flying around these corners, and there's some still down there. After tasting what I tasted, I didn't even really know what it was until a year or two later. I was like, that's enlightenment. And the experience I had of enlightenment wasn't in the 4 to 6 hours of meditating, as many of you have heard this that have been following my channel. It's when I opened my eyes after that long of meditation, and you would see things as they really are. It's just hard to explain. Non-delusional, you're there, and you see it. And you see all the trees and the mountains and the clouds and everything I saw up here with no name. It's like seeing it for the first time, like a child that doesn't know what these things are called. So clear and so fresh. The experience replaces the first time of falling in love, and the second time and the third time, as we do with our hormones. It replaced my rags to rich success story when I was 30 years old. It replaced the nightmares and the domino effects of misfortune. It replaced skillful karma. It replaced unskillful karma, bad decisions. That experience in those few seconds replaced all the money and all the fun of buying things. Okay, so this journey has been about going for it. Look at that, a grouse. Look at that right there. Grouse are so easy to hunt. If the world came to an end and you had to eat, you can literally hunt a grouse with just a rock or a few of them. It's funny, and I've seen this before. I've actually been part of it. A friend of mine, total outdoor wilderness guy, was telling us about you can hunt a grouse, just throw a rock at them, they'll move over, they won't fly away, and then he happened to find one while he was telling us, and it was me, my brother, and this friend of mine, Lane. Hey, Lane, there's this grouse up in the tree, and we all started throwing rocks at it, and I think Eddie, my brother, hit it, and it fell down, and then Lane showed us how to skin it very quickly, and we ate it for dinner. And then, of course, Lane showed me how to praise the animal and bury the heart and all this stuff that you do to give thanks to that bird, that energy. Know that in case everything goes to hell, whatever. They're really easy to hunt. Okay, so here we are. You know, when I was in the cabin in Tillamook, Oregon, I went through 2 weeks of being extremely sick, like most people would have gone to the hospital, just sweating and awful, and probably had the C word. Oh, look at this, Christian. I have cell service here? Hang on. Look how beautiful this is here. I had to stop and take a call right at the edge of self-service, but ankle still has this popping once in a while, like a calcium deposit or something. I'm still limping, but I'm not a wimp. Well, let's continue the ride. I'm gonna turn this camera on and do my famous, that's how I sink them. Alright, it's actually hard to get on the bike with this ankle. Ugh. Still kind of hurting, but it's definitely doable. And again, I hope I don't mess it up on this ride. Alright, here we go. Alright, where was I? I'm trying to bring this down. It doesn't need to be up. Okay, so I found this place. Well, I bought the RV. As you know, I'm not going to go through that. What, 2.5 months ago, something like that. I'm said I might stay here longer than I planned and not head south, go back to Arizona in the winter. And I'm going to need something for the rain and the snow that sometimes happens here. You never know each year. The plan was to stay till the end of October. Okay, so now the money's running down, and here's the part where most of my friends would say, you don't need to tell people this. Now I'm at my uncomfortable zone. I'm not going to get to a dollar amount, but it's enough money to stay at the RV place I'm staying at, pay all my bills, insurance. Well, I already paid insurance, 6 months for the vehicles, a year for the RV, cell phone, you know, stuff like that. And I could survive. I could last for about, realistically, 3 months, maybe 4. But now I'm strapping down and not out spending and exploring and doing the things we do when we got fistful of yen like I've had. And I've developed some bad habits. They're not bad habits if you have the money and you have an income, which I don't have. This is all part of the plan to discover something and research something, and it's a theory I have that seems to have a lot of science behind it. You all watch the videos, all self-improvement, frequencies, vibrations, the science. Why do some people money is no problem, other people is? Our programming, how we were raised, our DNA, blah, 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 blah. Our mission in life is to separate from all of it, all of your habits, financially, physically, everything that were hereditary, tribal, and find who you really are. And the only time I've really experienced that with any consistency was, oh, look at that, another grouse. Man, we would have had a feast today. It's amazing what you see when you go slower. Look at that up there. We're going up there. Trees are bending over. Just missed that branch. Okay, so I'm in my danger zone now, my DZ. Red alert. It's actually yellow. Now in this year after selling the house, I've got 2 inventions that if they get into the right hands, one of them definitely, they're both patent pending, they're protected. One of them is cable panniers, basically making the panniers out of 8 or 10 millimeter aluminum cable that's dunked and wrapped in a neoprene, kind of like bicycle chains, and it's a mesh net type thing. Very simple. You put your dry bag in it, and then all ratchet straps, a certain design, straps it tight to the bike so nothing bounces around. It becomes one with your bike. The cable completely protects your gear. It's not as heavy as you think. And then also when you ratchet it down, it does lock. Very simple, not that expensive. It's protecting your gear from accidents and theft. The theft deterrent. And the second one is phenomenal. I thought of this years ago, and come to find out, nobody patented it. And it's what I call legal maps. Let's see what we got going on here. Here's the Dungeness River, and I'm not much of a fisher, but when I lived here before, you'd see some massive salmon right here. Second invention, legal maps. Let me get that out of my system real quick. Legal maps is simply this. Before you approach a new state line, legal maps will tell you what is legal and what isn't. In every category you can think of. There's literally over 40,000 new laws coming and going yearly that we're not aware of, and we're expected to know this, and being ignorant of new laws and all laws is no excuse in the legal system. They're always looking for a reason to get you. Like a lot of people don't know, in the state of Oregon, you must have a plate on the front and the back of your car typically the cops won't bother you, but if they're suspicious of you for any reason, that's a reason for them to pull you over. Window tinting, all these things. How about people that are into marijuana? Okay, I guess there's still some states where it's illegal, so you kind of need to know that if you're on a road trip. Helmet laws, splitting lane laws on a motorcycle, which I believe should be either legal or illegal in every state. And the reason why I believe that is, you know, I'm from Oregon. Sometimes I drive through California, sometimes I go there. Could be 2-3 years. I'm in California, I'm in slow traffic, I'm going to merge, and all of a sudden this motorcycle whips between me and the other car at Mach 1. I forgot that that was legal. So that's my belief on that. Make it legal in every state or not legal. How about concealed carry license or open carry? Doesn't matter. We should know this. It should be, because it's changing constantly. The Second Amendment's under attack. It has been forever, and they keep tricking us with weird little stupid laws that they try to pass or do pass. I gotta check that front tire. I'm just super sketchy of it now after having it go flat, and it's twice in a 60-day period of time. Let me get up here. We're fine. God dang it. I like having a tube in there now. So what this app does is it warns you with however many miles. It could be 10, 15, 20, 30 miles. You can set it to before you come to that state. And let's say you have a concealed license, you can set that as one of your prompts. You know, my concealed license, you can set it Oregon, whatever. It will tell you up on Google Maps, a little thing that pops up, maybe a voice, a window that says, so you know what to do. When I go through California, my concealed license, most of the time we don't worry about it, just keep driving. But what we're supposed to do is separate the ammo, the magazines from the gun. They got to be in 2 different locations in your vehicle, and the gun needs to be locked up somewhere, glove box or a safe. And this is not just states. Like the city of Independence, Oregon, it is illegal to, I can't remember, it's been a while. They just passed a law when I was living there last time, several years ago. Within the city limits, you're not allowed to open carry. Helmet laws, no helmet, tow capacity of your vehicle, name it. Everything you need to know before you cross that state line. Then the county line. There are different county laws. There are different city laws. That invention is patent pending. So we did that. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say, you know what, if my YouTube channel can't provide a living. Like, I haven't really cared about that. I really mean, I'm not just saying that. The Prevo Life channel I had, which is about a luxury RV, if you don't know what a Prevo is, and the good and the bad and the ugly, that had extreme potential to grow very fast. Sold that RV, and the new owner asked me to take the channel down because it was becoming popular. People knew the coach. These inventions can take not just months, could take years, could possibly, just bit my cheek. Never happened. Okay, so now the money is in my danger zone. So here we are now. And 3 days ago I woke up in pain, realizing my age. My teeth are doing what is going to happen to all of you. You know, I had to have a tooth pulled just a few months ago, and I got a flipper for it. I mean, it's just, I've never had teeth problem my entire life until the last couple of years. Here we are at 58, turning 59 in, what, 2.5 weeks. And all the getting older stuff, the receding gums, which is exposing this and that. So I went to a dentist, and they yanked a tooth, and the other ones need to be taken care of. Oh, you know, my bite's different, and it's not getting better. So what do you do? Well, you got to get it taken care of. So I research it. I don't believe in a lot of stuff the dentists sell us, like root canal. I've heard too many bad things about that. I've heard stories about doing teeth implants. I know people that have done their whole mouth and it hurts constantly for the rest of their life. What do you do, you know? And so as I'm going through that, my teeth are getting more effed up. can't see it, thank God, because it's in the sides. And apparently this is happening to a lot of people, and it's a natural course in life. No matter how much you brush your teeth, how often, your entire life. And I'm not saying this to depress anybody, I'm just pointing out that's reality. It's not a bad thing once you accept it, but here's reality. When I've been retired for 7 years, I'm turning 59, you know, and might have to go back to work. Some of my friends are retired, been retired for a while, some of them, and they cannot even imagine being they couldn't put themselves in my position. They couldn't even imagine having to go back to work again. And to be honest with you, I'm torn between it. Like, I might have to, and I haven't had to have to in a long time. And I can look at the positive and I can look at the negative. And here's my famous meditation spot. Let's see if anybody's down here. You know what? I think I'm just gonna put it right here this time. Wow. Oh my God, I'm having this weird effect with my eyes right now. What the hell is that about? Oh my God, I've had this before. Everything's going like this. I'm looking and it's all going. Seriously, it's like this zooming out thing I'm having right now with my eyes. What the hell's going on? There we go. There's a military helicopter. Or the Coast Guard. They sure have been flying around every day, all day. More than what I remember back in 2007. That's Coast Guard. I can see the orange. Still kind of doing it. It's weird. It's like zooming out like a tunnel. I don't know. Maybe we'll see it on film and some kind of phenomena. All right, let me turn this off. So let's change the subject up a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the 2025 CF Moto Ibex 450. The things I like about it and some of the things I don't like about it. I'm just over 4,000 miles now, probably 75-80% highway. Bought it brand new in Chandler, Arizona. It took a little bit to get used to the 450cc thing. I've been on a 700 or 650 or higher for a very long time. The big question was, how well does it do on the freeways? And I've ridden my DR790 on the freeway. The DR did not handle nearly as well as this does. A single cylinder thumper, that's pretty rough ride. So this has the twin 450cc. I put a bigger tire in the back, the Motaz Adventure tire, and previous to that, if I was doing 70 miles an hour, I'd be tacking 6,900 RPMs, which, by the way, the bike's very comfortable at. It just purrs. It feels like a bigger bike, other than the RPMs are revving up. But just the way this bike is laid out, I call it a mini Tenere 700. That's pretty much what it is. Did great on the highway, but when I put that bigger tire on, now I'm doing 75 miles an hour at about 6,800 RPM. So without changing a sprocket, it made a big difference. The front tire is the same size as the stock tire, so there's a little bit of a slant. Actually, it would be this way. That just took a few miles to get used to. Overall, it's an amazing bike. It's perfect for where I'm at this point of riding. I did put the rally seat on, which is about 2 inches higher. It really helps. It's very, very comfortable. It's narrow in the right places, and it does kind of lift my knees up a little bit higher. I don't like the pegs are fine, especially when you rip the centerpiece out, the rubber piece, and I think it's fine. But if I decide to do it, they do have a lowering peg kit. I don't have it, but I recommend the traction tape there for, you know, better grip when you need it. It's funny, the plastic caps fell off on this crash bar. So I put wine corks in there, and I think that's kind of cool. Ideally, if I want more power out of this and more response, you can flash the ECU. There's a company that has it. One thing I don't like about it is low RPMs. It does jerk at low RPMs, but I've kind of mastered that now. It doesn't bother me as much. But with that new ECU, you've got to put a different air box in, more air, and definitely a new exhaust system. They do have settings. You have to pull it out and send it to them, and they reflash your ECU. So lower foot pegs would be nice. Tank grips, definitely, that's something I'll probably add. If I flash the ECU, even if I didn't, I might consider upgrading the exhaust. Definitely increase the power, and opening that air box up more definitely is a good idea. So I took the passenger foot peg off on the other side. I've yet to take it off here, just because of the mounting bracket when I put these racks on, the pannier racks. Moskamoto backcountry 35-liter bags. They're awesome. They're really easy to get into. They're just nice, and they look nice. They look cool. They're good looking pannier for sure. They're not cheap, but you get what you pay for. Honestly, I'm not sold on the tubeless tire rim concept. The spokes go on the outside. It's very BMW. It's nice, but I haven't had the greatest experience with it, and when they went to change the tires, no matter what they do, it's going to scratch it, it's going to chip it up. It's just because their system, what they use to take the tire off, isn't the greatest. The brakes are fine. I think my back one's worn out for some reason. Long trips, it's very comfortable with that seat. On the DR, I put a seat concepts on there. You need that for a DR because that's like sitting on a brick. I haven't done the tail mod. I'm not doing all this stuff. I'm not going to spend the money I spent, like what I spent on the DR. It was ridiculous. Shield is nice. It makes a little bit of a difference. It hits me on the top of the helmet when it's up. It's adjustable, as a lot of you know, so it comes up and down just a few inches. It's enough when I'm on the highway doing 70 miles an hour. It's not hitting me right in the face, and that fatigue in your chest it blocks the midsection. It's not bad. I've done very little to it. I love I don't know why more companies don't do this. This has ABS on and off on the fly. Pretty much coast or pull the clutch in, and it'll turn traction control off in ABS. It's very nice to have. On the T7, you have to scroll through the screen and set everything every time. And it's just, I don't know why they all just don't do what CF Moto did. Suspension's fine. For my kind of riding, it's perfect. I had to adjust the damper on the front and, do some certain things for my weight. I'm 235, 6'2", so it's a good looking bike. That's the one thing. I get a lot of compliments on this bike from even old ladies. It's really weird. The Motaz Adventure tires, when I first got them, they felt sketchy to me, but now that I've put like 3,200 miles on them, I can corner hard on pavement. It's super aggressive in the dirt. They're really nice. I've had these before. There was a break-in period for the front. They do hum at about 60 miles an hour, and it's not quiet, but that doesn't bother me. So, God, what else could I say? It's just a good-looking bike. It's ironic that it weighs almost as much as a Tenere 700. But it has a lower center of gravity, so it doesn't feel that big, and it doesn't sit as big either. I love the 4.6 gallon fuel tank. Every bike, if you're going to seriously adventure ride long distance for weeks, months at a time, typically have to get a bigger tank. This tank, averaging about 60 miles a gallon, 50, 60, somewhere in that area. Safely, I can go well over 200 miles, 220, 230, before you need to get serious about looking for fuel. I'm not big on electronics, all the latest and greatest. I think if you're a serious traveler, world traveler, you're better off sticking with carbureted engines. There's a lot of reasons why I believe in that. You're somewhere in South America, they have dirty fuel, and a DR, carbureted DR, Suzuki, can burn just about anything. You can filter it through a sock, and get some of the grub out. But they're just easier to work on. There's no electronics. Everything's analog. And they're just a tractor for serious riders. So if I toured the world, would I want to do it on this bike? You could do it, even stock. A DR, you could do it stock. But just for the parts availability, on a tractor, a DR, or even a KLR, still to this day, good for what they're designed to do. yeah, that's what I have to say about the CF Moto Ibex 450. So the last part of this video is about, what am I going to do? And it's been a long time since I've had this this thing to think about. I don't have an income. Sold all the gold, and knowing that logically in this world we live in, it's not the smartest decision in the world. Look at that view. Isn't that amazing? It's too easy to invest, they say. We had property, we had all that stuff, and all you end up doing is managing your money and worrying about who's stealing it, honestly. And if it isn't a person that you're renting your home to, or your bank, horrible service. I've seen a lot of that in the RV and the motorcycle. It's just rare to find any really good, prideful service out there. Fraud, I've had it happen to both of my debit cards. If it isn't that, it's the IRS. It's just these things that as we get older and wiser, we decide to minimalize and reduce, and that's where I'm at now. Everything I have, which isn't much now, that I'm happy about, is paid for, and my bills are very cheap at this point. I mean, it's lower. My monthly bills, can't talk, are probably less than most 18-year-olds now. But still, the cost of things, I can't believe how much things cost today. It's weird. And it's, these millennials and Gen Zs, I'm limping. I'll walk down here. They're not stupid. They're correct in being concerned about being able to buy a home and all these things. So what am I gonna do? Well, we're gonna feel it out. I've got plenty of time still to meditate on it, because one moment I'm like, go get that job. Oh, and I'm electing not to wear my sunglasses anymore. I just saw this video last night. Makes a lot of sense to me. I'm wearing sunglasses all the time like I have for years. It's not good for you. It changes the state of your mind where it's thinking it's dark all the time, and there's a lot of nutrients. A lot of you know this part, but it's also about your pineal gland and cleansing it. And we're supposed to have, I'm very light sensitive. It's probably from years of wearing sunglasses all the time, even sometimes at night, not because I'm trying to be cool, because I'm light sensitive. So, God, I hope there's not a lot of breathing in this. Where's the mic? That should be all right. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And the most important thing I could share with you is I can go back in my life, the years being concerned about money, to where it owns you and you end up working a job that doesn't pay enough, but you at least know you're paying your bills, but that's not really living. I did that for many, many years, to another time in my life building a dynasty, wealthy at 30, running a company with 140 employees, and I was the owner, to delegate everything, even my dry cleaning. Tasted that life. Tasted the homeless life when I was about 18. Middle class life I rarely tasted. Every middle class type job I would get, corporate jobs, I was laid off within a month, 4 months, 8 months. And I've come to the realization, especially for me, maybe you're different, that it's ridiculous to think that I can plan my life out that way. And some people can, or either that or they're just great liars. A lot of people are that way. I hate to say that, but it's true. They have learned the art of not telling anyone the truth. It's none of their business. So there's a lot of information and education that we're not getting from people experiencing real life. And so that's kind of what this video is about. My series, my channel is about this. And I'm openly sharing that it takes a bold person to do what I'm doing. I realize that. And to sit now here in the code red or code yellow, where I only have a few more months of money left. I might have to get a job. The inventions might not pop in before then. I don't know. And the nice thing is now it doesn't frighten me as much. Why would it? To be honest with you, I've had a history of worrying about what people think. Seriously, how many of you are the same way? It's like, I've been homeless. It's embarrassing. It really hurts your soul. It hurts your ethos, but it's our own fault. We just don't get in the excitement of this thing called life. It's supposed to be an adventure, even where I'm at right now. And you know what's funny? Most of the time in my life where you're at the last penny, you're at the last moment. Like, that's it. What I'm fearing is coming true. It works out. And all I've been trying to do is speed up the process. Like, I've had several cars repossessed in my lifetime. And you hear that helicopter, right? He's just doing something out there. 7 cars repossessed in my lifetime. It's crazy. But I'll never forget the last car I'd repossessed was a car I really liked. And this was involuntary repossession. It was the Audi A4. I tricked it out. It was a cool car, great car. And I had to hide it for 3 months. They found it. I was there when they found it and towed it away. And it was such a relief. It was like, why was I so concerned? I've been talking about walking to work, getting in shape. Well, now I'm gonna. And it's amazing, right? That same day, I scored another car for like considerably lower than it was worth. And I picked it up for like $800. It was clean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, there was one thing that I fixed, and so I've been trying to speed up the process between worrying about the inevitable, and then you're there where it looks like it's going to happen. It's going to go to crap, and then something happens. And I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm not worried about it, and I'm sharing it openly. Like, this should be nobody's business, but I'm told that all the time. It's like, no. I've been doing this my whole life. I haven't been married and kids, and I burn deep and study. I've had great mentors in my life. I've read a lot of books, a lot of seminars, and I understand this concept of laws of attraction, your DNA, blah, blah, blah. And I'm up for the ride. I woke up yesterday morning. Well, the morning before yesterday is when I was like, I can go back to Sweet Home and get a job at that mill. Pays good. My bills are super low, and rack up thousands and thousands of dollars very quickly and continue. And then yesterday I woke up going, don't surrender. Let's see where this goes. What am I afraid of? Not having money? Well, I can pretty much say I don't now. It's all allotted for bills, like a lot of you. And I don't care how retired you are. It can take one thing to take you out of retirement. And if it isn't that one thing, they can take you out of being healthy. It's just the way it is. I'll share this. Again, this is where I sat for a year and meditated 4 to 6 hours, almost daily. I come up here, rain, sleet, or snow, too hot, lots of bugs, nobody for miles. I'd sit right here. This tree was much smaller, and meditate. It was one of the most amazing experiences in my life. It's a little ledge right here. That drops down thousands of feet. After a year of doing that, I had to go back in civilization and make money again. It was really hard to do. Very hard to do. And not in the way you think. What was hard to do is I had to fake it. I had to not express my true understanding. Applying for a job, they would say things like, why should we hire you? Well, actually, you probably shouldn't, because I'm faking and I really don't feel this in my heart anymore, and I probably wouldn't be happy in your company. I don't like your hours and the pay. The secret to this is to liberate yourself from all lies to yourself and others, even white lies, and be nothing but truth. Old saying I have is, there can be no true love without the truth being your first love. And the liberation I felt from that time and walking quietly back into civilization after that year, everything was amusing to me. I saw humor in everything. And even my friends and family, as they were worried about the economy was crashing in 2007. People were literally killing themselves. Welcome to my turning point of life here. And now we will continue the journey, and I'll continue sharing it. Who knows what happens? Okay, take care.